I met people who were just incredible,
Mm-hmm.
musicians. And I used to joke and say, I'm not going to play bass anymore. I'm going to take up underwater basket weaving because I got to be better at underwater basket weaving than I am compared to all of these folks. Then having a family and prioritizing because I was gigging a decent bit back then. And when you
Mm-hmm.
got little ones, being on the road,
Yes,
it's
yes,
tough,
yes,
tough,
yes,
tough.
yes, of course. Right, right. Welcome to Cloud Record Music Podcast, Season 4, Episode 7. I am your host, Maurine McFarlane, and I have an amazing show just for you. Don't go anywhere. Tony G. Turner, Dallas Fort Worth bass songwriter and producer, has been making great music under the radar for a few years. And in addition to showing his ability with melody, Turner is excellent at the diversity of his work, touching everything from gospel to dance to funk to soul and doing it all with ease. Tony's two-sided single, Just Like the Old School Days, are absolute gems, each with its own distinct style. Still in Love is a dance jam that captures the feel of the late 80s with vocalist and former American Idol star Brittany Holmes delivering the goods. The other side of the single, DaDot, is a rhythmatic jam that serves as a statement of marital love. Tony tells us DaDot shines as a marriage anthem, its name drawn from the joyful DaDot chant that opened the song like a morning prayer. The powerful production is intensified by the strong lead vocal of Devontae Horton and Deja Radell. The music you're listening to in the background is by Carpathia Jenkins, I Am Strong, instrumental, one of Cloud Record Music. The links are below. Check out all of our music. Before we start, please subscribe, ring the bell, and leave a comment and let me know what you think about our conversation. Let's get into it. And now, a Cloud Records Music Spotlight. Tony Turner, welcome to Cloud Record Music Podcast. How are you today?
I am wonderful. I am wonderful. Thank you for asking, and thank you for having me as well.
And you look wonderful.
Right back at you.
Yeah, thank you. So before we begin, I have to find out what is it like in Dallas and the weather wise, because we're getting a little bit cold here in Philadelphia.
So right now it's a little chilly, and it's chilly for two reasons. There's about 40-mile-an-hour wind gust. So
Mm.
even though the temperature is, 70, early 70s, with that wind blowing, it's pretty cool. It was 48 degrees this morning when we started, so about
Oh my
70.
goodness. So you're almost like Philadelphia.
Yeah, a little bit, little bit,
A
little
little
bit.
bit, right? Oh, how about that? Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be an amazing show because this gentleman is exceptionally gifted. So, Tony, can you walk us through the journey of a song from the initial idea to the final version? Because I've been listening to all your songs, and they have a very unique style, each of them. So, walk us on the journey.
A song can come to me in a number of ways, a multiplicity of ways. I have a little saying. That saying is every day is a song, right? So just in interacting with you, you may say something while we're talking here that triggers an idea. And I'll typically write that idea down, or I'll grab my phone and, say what is that idea. And then I'll just kind of meditate on it. I don't rush it, right? I just kind of allow it to unfold, if you will. And typically, what will happen, I call myself a groove person. So, as a bass player, I'll come up with a groove. Typically, I'll hear the drums in my head as well. And I'll put that bass down, I'll put the drums down. And if I have any kind of thoughts on what the keys should sound like, I'll put that down, and I will
Mhm.
typically send it to one of the keyboard players in my network who also happen to be film composers, because I found that film composers add that cinematic flair, or they just hear it
Mm.
differently than
Right.
the I'll say the typical player. They add color and they add warmth. So I'll typically get it over to that keyboard player. I have been blessed with really exceptional musicians to be around, and so have some incredible guitar players right here in DFW. And so after the keyboard player, I'll typically go over to the guitar player, sax player after that, if there's going to be sax in the tune. And then finally, after I track it, I've got a studio here at the house, so I'll track it here. Element Sounds over in the north side of Dallas is where I do mixing and mastering. The engineer, his name is Christopher Billick, but everybody calls him OZ or Oz because he's
Oh,
the
wow.
wizard.
Is that good, huh?
Yeah, he's the real deal. He's the real deal. So that's
Oh,
typically how it.
wow. Oh, that sounds wonderful. Now, do you write with a specific audience in mind for the particular genre of music, or do you let the song story dictate its direction? So, when you're writing something,
So
do
a
you have a
little bit.
specific genre audience in mind?
So I'm gonna say no, but I will tell you that like the tune we talked about a little earlier, "Girl I Want to Dance." So
Mm-hmm.
"Girl I Want to Dance" was during COVID. I'm sitting at my computer, just doing the thing, and this tune comes in my head. And we call it a worm. There's a little worm that I play on there. That little worm played in my head, and
Mm.
then the lyrics just, I mean, they just all came just like that, right? So
Right,
at that
right.
point, I didn't have a target audience in mind, but I did know that I wanted it to be kind of a cameo, lakeside, old school R&B flavor, right? And so that's what we did with that one. DaDot, on the other hand, I started that song I'm dating myself, in 1992 is when I started that song.
Wow, but you
And
just recently released it, right?
yes, yes. So Bernard Wright had a song out. Do you remember that song, Who Do You Love?
Yes, yes.
So I heard that song and I was like, I want to write a song like that because I really like that hook with the girl in the background. Who do you love?
Mhm,
I love that, right? And so I said, I want to write something with a hook like that. So
mhm,
that's where I got the DaDot kind of hook from, or that little melody
mhm,
line from.
mm,
But it
mhm.
being a couples therapy song, I've been married coming up on 36 years now, right? And
Wow.
so I'm writing real stuff, right? As I'm learning stuff, I'm writing stuff. So there was no target audience, for that one until it was complete. Now, I'll end with saying this. I've been listening to a couple of stations. They're soul stations, and I'm listening to the music that are on these stations. Most of these stations have hump charts, or top 50, top 20. And this is gonna sound a little arrogant, but I was like, I'm gonna write a number one track, right? I'm gonna listen to that genre. I'm gonna take it in, and then I'm gonna
Mhm.
write a track going after the number one spot. So uh, because my goal is to be a songwriter, not so much an artist, I'm only putting out artist stuff so that other artists can see it and say, hey, I want him to do a track for me, right?
Right, right,
Uh,
yes.
that's why they're different.
Wow. So, that's interesting. And when you talk about soul, I noticed your shirt. It says Soul
Mhm.
Train. I remember Soul Train back in the days. Ooh, with the, the train and all the
Oh, yeah.
wonderful dancing.
Yes, yes, yes. And, what party do you go to or did you go to back in the day that didn't have a Soul
Oh
Train
my
line,
god.
right?
I'm
Yeah,
telling you, I think I learned a lot of my dance move from watching or want to be like those dancers because they were
sure, sure, sure.
exceptional. So yeah. Wow. You're talking about the latest song you have, which is DaDot, right? Um,
Hmm.
can you share the story behind either that song or one of your most meaningful songs? I'd love for
Yeah,
you to share the story behind that one because it seems to be very
yeah.
meaningful to you
So, as you know, the song is broken up into his side, her
and her side.
side, they fight, and then they're like, "Jesus help us," right? And that's kind of the story of my marriage journey because, we got, married really young. When you're really young, I mean, this is a general statement, right? When you're really
Mm-hmm.
young, you're kinda self-focused, right? So, we went through the honeymoon bliss, right? We get married,
Mm-hmm.
we're all excited in that hype or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
but then, life starts lifing, right? And she goes to her corner and I go to my corner, and we don't necessarily we interact, but it's routine, right? It's not,
Right, right. It's
doesn't
not
have
a
the same.
passion or yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes. Got it.
And so, over a period of many, many years, we have ridden the ups and downs of all things marriage. Luckily, we joined a church. We're getting word from the same source, and so as she's getting closer to Christ, I'm getting closer to Christ, and we're meeting in the middle. And the
Mm.
that took the longest in writing this song was the rap that is supposed to be Jesus telling the couple, "This is what you do. This is how you do it." And so it was really hard for me because I'm like, whoa, I'm supposed to be channeling what he said. That's got to be right.
Right. Yes,
I
yes.
literally
Wow.
have pages and pages of rap lyric that ended up as that 8 bars. So that's what took so long.
Oh, wow. Well, you know what, ladies and gentlemen, you just lead you right into it. And I want you to hear a portion of the song. You call it the marriage song, right?
Yeah, yeah.
for,
It's the
for,
it's the
for,
marriage anthem, the couples
it's
therapy
a
song.
marriage anthem, right? And I think you're going to appreciate it. I know I did. And I have to say, I don't know how you feel about your fans or other folks interpreting the lyrics differently from the original intent, because when I heard it, I never connected to a marriage song. And it was a relationship song. But it's also
Sure.
one of those songs that it's wonderful as a marriage anthem song within the church. This also can go in any place, in any space, which is
Yeah, yeah,
what I like about it, right? And
yeah.
I didn't even thought it was just basically for like a Christian couple, because it seemed like every couple has marriage problem, and this
Sure,
song
sure.
speaks to that. I'm like, how does he feel about people misinterpret it or not interpret the song?
Yeah,
How do
no,
you find?
it's a really good question. It was people like yourself. I'm just using you as an example. As I was going through my boss's boss, I let her hear the song before I got the rap completed. And she was
Mm-hmm,
like, "Oh, this is, I'll just call him Joe. This is me and Joe, right? The
mm-hmm,
his and
mm-hmm,
the her, right?" And I asked her, I said, "Okay, I'm trying to determine whether I'm going to make this a Christian message song or if I'm
mm-hmm.
gonna make this kind of a everybody song, right?"
Everybody song, yeah,
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 because it is a everybody song. I have to
yeah,
tell you, and I think I sent that to you. I said this is could go like not only to everyone, but any genre. Really, it
yeah.
is just that powerful. Ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna get to take a minute so you can hear just a small portion of it, and then I want you to go and download it. It will bring, I believe, reconciliation when you listen to it in your relationship. It certainly allow you to rethink where you stand. Especially if you're like apart and we can come together. So here we go, ladies and gentlemen, DaDot. Tony Turner.
I loved, I wanted, needed, had to have you in my life. That's why 3 years ago invited you to be my wife. But now it seems as though to you that I'm not even there. Your love has faded, no romance has led me to despair. Despair, and no love is better shared.
All right now, what do you think about it? I told you it's just amazing. Make sure you go to it's available on all the music platforms. So you go there and download it and make it be part of it could be part of a therapy session, really. In marriage counseling, in your home, if you're in a place where you want to communicate with each other and you don't have the words. Am I right about this?
Yeah, yeah, and share it with people that you know that,
Mm-hmm.
are having difficulty and maybe they don't wanna go down the therapy role, or they don't wanna go to talk to anybody in the church, right?
Mm-hmm.
This might be
Mm-hmm.
that catalyst that,
Mm-hmm.
would help them get over the hump, so to speak.
Yes, it's actually one of those songs. It's just like you have the gospel song that speaks to whatever emotion you are spiritually. Well, this is also one of those gospel songs that really goes beyond the gospel. It speaks to wherever you are in your relationship that, you're trying to bring it together. So good thinking. And you use your own life experience to bring it to life. How
Yeah,
about
yeah, yeah,
that?
yeah.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's the amazing
the
thing
other
with God, right?
Yeah, yeah. The song, "Girl, I Wanna Dance," my wife doesn't like me talking about it, but that's all about her.
Really?
Because yeah, here I am, if we go to a spot, right, I wanna get on the dance floor and dance, right? And let's just say, I've got obviously, I'm a musician, so I have rhythm, right? But
Mm-hmm.
let's just
Mm-hmm.
say my dancing is not
Mm-hmm.
necessarily, Dancing with the Stars, right? She is the person who wants to make sure that every step is just right, and if anybody sees her, it's just right. So, I'm typically it's like, come on, I want to dance, right? And so
Right.
that's 100% where that came from.
Wow. And that's fascinating because you said you wrote that song during COVID. So you were locked in, right?
We were locked in. Yeah, we were
Right.
locked in.
And you still had a desire of want to dance with her. That speaks
Yeah,
volume. Because during
yeah,
COVID,
yeah.
most people got in each other nerves. They want to be in separate
That's
states.
right. I
We
will go
want
to this
to dance.
room and you go.
So that
You're right.
speaks to
You're right.
something great. That is
Yeah,
absolutely wonderful. Oh my goodness.
yeah.
Now I assume that you collaborate with other artists because you're also a producer, correct?
Sure,
You
sure,
know?
sure.
Yeah. So what would be your approach, say, to co-writing, with other folks? Like, how do you approach those kind of collaboration? For
Yeah.
like co-writing or co-producing a song or an
Sure.
artist.
I know you're familiar with the term pop split.
Yes.
That's something that's fairly new to me, I would say the last couple of years, because I came up more around the R&B space. And in
Mm,
the R&B space, my experience was that if you co-wrote with somebody, it was based on your level of contribution. So, if
mm,
you wrote a hook, you might get 5%, or if you wrote a chorus, that might be 10 or 15, right? But my approach is more along the lines. I really have two approaches. I like to pop split. That means if you're a part of the creation, you're a
mhm,
part of the creation.
mhm,
It's
mhm.
split evenly
It's
for
been easy.
everybody. Nobody has to wonder what it's going to be.
Right, right.
That's typically my
Mhm,
preference. Now, I don't know if it's this way in Philadelphia, but here in Dallas, we have lots and lots of incredibly talented musicians
mhm,
who all they want to do is play. Getting them to collaborate, yeah, they will just come over and record something, and I'll be like, "What's your IPI number?" They're like,
mhm. What is
"IPI,
that?
what's that?"
I find the same thing too, and it's
Yeah,
interesting because yeah, I've only been in the business now going on 4 years, but I was fortunate to have all these expertise around me. So when you talk about
yeah,
the split, this is how I enter into business knowing about it. So we
yeah,
do, and I find myself I have to look out for the artist that comes in because
yeah,
like you, I'm just like. Do you have, what is that? Are you
yeah,
registered with Sound Exchange? And so you have to walk them through the
yes,
process. And
yes,
I do
yes.
believe the days of where companies are stealing and not being fair to artists, especially they're new, is about to be over. Because you have
Yeah,
people like yourself, producers like yourself and myself, who believe in fairness. So people get what they're worth, and not what we just want to give them. So yeah.
exactly that, exactly that. We've
Yeah.
seen too much of that over the course of the
Absolutely.
music industry,
Absolutely.
but
Yes. And
let's not repeat that. We know what that
right. Right, right. And I hear all the horror stories, that I hope I never get to encounter, but I'm sure it's there because even the gospel music feel is just as bad as the secular
Yeah,
music feel. The people are just like
yeah, yeah.
vultures. You know what I mean?
That is
Um,
100% correct, and it's surprising because you think that, "Oh, well, this is gospel, so
I
everything's gonna be
know.
okay." No, not
I
that way.
know so many
Yeah.
things in the religious field in church as a Christian. It leaves me breathless. I'm like, I cannot believe this is the fate that I'm part of. This is just,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I say
So on
people are
a more,
people.
yeah. So on a more personal note, what value of belief are reflected in your writing? I assume that you're writing your lyrics as well. Some of those
Yes, I
lyrics
am.
you've written. Okay. So what
All of the
are
lyrics.
okay? And so what values of belief are reflected in your writing?
So, truth, or at least my perception of what is true, what is
Mhm.
honest. I'll say real, and what I mean by that is there are some things that are common to all of us, right? If it's raining outside and you don't have an umbrella, you're gonna get wet, right?
Of
It
course,
doesn't matter
yes.
whether you're super rich. It doesn't matter what the scenario is, right?
Mhm, mhm,
Um,
mhm.
you're still going to get caught up in it. I'm working on a song right now. It's going to be kind of a Temptations kind of tune. And the name
Mm,
of the song tells you what my value is as it relates to writing. The name of the song is
mm,
Pain Reaches All Sides of Town.
mm.
It doesn't matter who you are. It
Mm,
doesn't
mm,
matter
mm.
how rich, how poor, it doesn't matter what your
It touches
situation
all of us.
touches
Yes,
all of us. At some point
yes.
in life,
Mhm.
something's gonna hurt, right? And so
Mm,
that's what I try and do from a writing perspective
mm.
is try and appeal to that
Wow.
thing that is common to all of us.
Yeah, that's powerful, and I think so often so many of us forget that, right? And so
Yeah,
we live our
yeah,
life as if we are free from troubles, we're free from
yeah,
sickness, we're free from
yeah,
pain, we're free from disaster, and it only happened to certain people. And then
yeah,
life come
no,
at you and you're just like, no, we all have our own stuff to
yeah,
deal
it's
with.
equal
Yeah.
opportunity. Yeah,
Absolutely. Yeah. Now you've been doing this for a minute, right?
been doing it for a
On this
minute, yeah.
journey. Have you ever thought of quitting? Has it ever get to a point where you're just like, I just want to give up?
Yeah, yeah. I can even probably call some ages. So I moved to Texas I was 17 years old. And at that point, the song Stepping Out, we did that. Me and my best friend did that.
Hmm.
I don't know if you remember, again, dating myself, Budweiser Superfest. So
Yes, of
back in
course.
the
Yes.
day,
And
you
I'm
remember
telling you my age too.
But you remember you could write a song and submit it to the Budweiser
Yes.
Superfest and, get a chance to win a record deal, money, the whole 9, right?
Hmm.
So we submitted the song "Stepping Out" back then, and we got to number 4. And then
Mm.
the last set of voting was done in a nightclub. Well, we weren't old enough to get in, right? Nor were any of our friends. So there could be no
Yeah.
popularity voting outside of them just liking the track. So
Hmm.
us not winning that, because I just knew in my head, we got this. We're winning that. That
Hmm.
knocked the wind out of my sails.
Hmm.
So 17, 18, I moved to Texas. And then I find out coming from Shreveport, Louisiana, that Texas is a much bigger pond than is Shreveport. So here
Yeah.
I am. thinking I'm all that as it relates to, playing and
Right.
songwriting
Yeah.
as it relates to everything. I wasn't. I met people who were just incredible,
Hmm.
musicians. And I used to joke and say, I'm not going to play bass anymore. I'm going to take up underwater basket weaving because I got to be better at underwater basket weaving than I am compared to all of these folks. Then having a family and prioritizing because I was gigging a decent bit back then. And when you
Hmm.
got little ones, being on the road,
Yes,
it's
yes,
tough,
yes,
tough,
yes,
tough.
yes, of course.
And
Right, right.
yeah,
And
so
you play different instruments as well. This is what am I
yeah,
understanding? You
yeah.
play
So
different
bass
instruments as
guitar
well?
is my primary axe. Bass is
Hmm.
the main thing, but I can do keys, I can do drums, and I do them well enough. Bass, I'm good at. I'm confident in saying I'm a good bass player, right?
Hmm.
All of the other elements, I'm good enough to track them because I'm typically going to go and find like one of the drummers that I have been blessed to be able to use. His name is Jason JT Thomas. He Snarky Puppy, Lettieri, Mark Lettieri, all of these bad boy, groups is who he plays for. And
Wow.
I'm able to take a track, call him up, and say, "Hey, can you put your flavor on this?" Right?
Yes.
There's a guitar player here who used to play with
Mm-hmm.
Wayman Tisdale when he was alive. His name is
Mm-hmm.
Mark Harper. Incredible. He has that rhythm, that kind of Prince rhythm. He puts that sauce on it, right? And
Right,
so
right,
I
right.
take the track, send it over to him, and say, "Hey, put some of that sauce on it," right? So that's kind of
Wow. It also seemed like that the lesson and your experience in life also have shaped your music. I think that's one of the most powerful thing when we take our experience and created either a book or music because then we're
yeah,
also speaking to other people
yeah,
experiences as well.
yeah, yeah.
And I find it interesting, as I said before, in the midst of COVID, you create the song "Girl, I Want to Dance," which is we're talking about your wife, and consider that time most people were in their separate quarters because they couldn't even get along, and you wanted to dance with
Right.
her. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to give you a little treat on this song so you can hear a little piece of it. And I want you to go again. First of all, download all of his songs. They're just fabulous. And of course, I make it very easy for you. All the links are below, including his social media links. So follow him. But more importantly, go and download it. But here we go. We're going to take a minute and listen to it. We'll be right back.
Dance like you on the floor. Do something ain't nobody seen before. Go on, make a face, show some attitude. Throw your hands in the air, you can wave them too. Then slide, yeah, just a little. Make your backside stop, drop, wobble, and wiggle. Been waiting all night just to get this chance. So come on, girl, tonight I want to. Girl, I want to dance. Baby, won't you dance with me? Come on, take a chance. Baby, won't you dance with me? You know you want to dance.
Baby, ain't that your song? The one you're singing all the time at home.
Singing it in the shower.
Already know what I wanna do. Yeah.
All right, now I think I want to dance, dance, dance. I would love for one day for someone to write a song for me. That was great. I know you
It's
feel
coming. It's
special.
coming. It's coming. You just put it
Coming?
out there. It's coming.
Okay, all right then. I'm a producer. Now, as one myself, I have to say, and again, I've only been in it for going on 4 years.
Yeah.
And it's not easy,
No.
and you know the business because you've been in the music for a while. I haven't. I'm constantly learning. I'm constantly making corrections for the things that I did know, the mistakes that I made, and I'm very committed and dedicated. I invest a lot into this. But it is such a hard field to break through, especially, and I'm assuming it's all part of music, but gospel. How
Yeah.
are you process? Oh, you're dealing with all of this. And I noticed from your website, you have some great, you're right, talented people working
Sure.
with you or collaborating with you. We do the
Sure.
same in Philly. Philly has some great talents, but do you like being a producer? And you give you a lot of control in terms of creative process and who you choose to work with. But why do you choose, to also be in the business end as well as being the creative end?
Yeah, I think the word that came to mind while you were speaking is platform. Cloud Records is a platform, right? And
Mm-hmm.
just like I'll pick, I'm an IT guy as well, so I'll pick on some of the IT stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
AWS or Microsoft or any of these platforms
Mm-hmm.
have producers that come and build on top of them, right? And I think that is the thing that drives me is that I want to be a platform. I meet that person who is an incredible talent, right? But
Mm-hmm.
they're just that it sounds bad, but they're just the talent. They don't get the business side. They
Mm-hmm.
don't get the grind side of it because it's a grind, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, it is unfair to the world that nobody's ever heard that person. The only person that's
Mm-hmm.
ever heard them sing is, their parents, or if they've got a tape, CD, or stream that they're playing in their car.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only time it's ever heard. The world
Yes,
needs
yes.
these people, and I've just been blessed to meet a lot of folks, and it's just pushed a desire, to do that. So my producing is less about, obviously I want to write a hit song. We all want to do that.
Absolutely. We want to get big, invest a lot of time and money into what we do. So
Yeah,
naturally, yes, of
but to
course. Yeah.
see some of the folks that are the purest, musician or just the
Mm-hmm.
natural singer actually get some benefit and get an
Mm-hmm.
idea that, hey, wait, I really can do this. My gift really is something that people want to hear, right?
Right.
That for me,
Yes.
that is the ultimate, and that's kind of what pushes me. There is a saxophone player here in DFW. He is the most mild mannered person you would ever meet, but he's incredible, right? And he plays all the time. He plays all the time. I say that like it's a bad thing. It's not necessarily a bad thing, but the scope of folks that he plays for could be so much bigger, right? If
Right.
somebody
Right.
heard him
It
play,
starts
right?
to, yes. Yeah.
And I'm like, to
Wow.
do that, you got to
It's
record.
Absolutely. And it's interesting you say that because, as I said, as a producer, it's fairly new and I'm learning. I've made many mistakes in the beginning, spend more money than I should because, everyone
Yeah,
say they
that's
can
part of
get you here and there, trying to market the music, advertise it, which is so outrageous, and I'm
sure,
not in that
sure.
bracket. But you're just trying to give your artists an opportunity. I believe, just like the music, I believe the Lord is the one that unched me to start this record label. I'm a writer. I write books and I write lyrics, but like you, I don't write the music part.
Yeah,
That's not part of what I do. It occurred to me that, like you, there's so many gifted talent if they could have the opportunity to be heard on a wide scale. So that
yeah,
is why I started a Cloud Record Music podcast, just to feature artists that are excellent but not yet well known. Not even quite 2 years, maybe like a year and a half since I've been doing it. And I was just surprised the number of, people that start to subscribe and listen. And sometimes it seems like it starts slow and then the podcast will just pick up. We'll get 10, 30,000. I'm like, I hope,
wow.
because you just never know, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
So it's like a year and a half. And I think I have like 174 or 5,000 subscribers. But each
that's incredible.
podcast, the niche is different because sometimes it'll be 2 months and nothing is, and the next thing I know, they're getting 40,000 people. Look, I'm just like, if you can get one person that sees it and can
Yeah,
get your music to one of the major platform on the radio station, your life could
right.
change. You
Yeah,
can get
just like that.
it. You
Just
know what
like
I'm
that.
saying? Right.
Yeah,
And that's what keeps me going because I'm like, I know I heard the Lord correctly. I know we
yeah,
said to do this. So
yeah, yeah.
he's not going to let me go totally broke before something happened. you know, so,
I
you
totally
know,
get it. I totally get it.
right. I know you understand that. And yeah, I think it's sometimes we just need one person to hear something. And our hope is that it's a person that maybe manages or run major network of radio that's the music can be heard all over.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
then,
yeah, yeah,
then
yeah,
there's no looking back. And people will
yeah.
see you come on the scene, Tony, and just like, oh, he's so great. He just show up. And you're thinking, oh, no, honey, I've been grinding at this a
We're doing
long
this for a
time.
minute, right?
I've
Right,
been grinding at this. What are you talking?
right, right.
In church, as you probably know, people just like to say, I want your anointing. I want an anointing, right? You just
Yeah,
like, are
yeah.
you willing to been through what I have been through?
That's gonna cost you
Probably not.
something.
It will cost you something. Oh my goodness. It's so great.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
oh my goodness.
I have a I have a question for you.
Sure.
So if I hop in your car right now, what's playing? Who's playing?
In my car is probably one of my own music. I
Oh,
played it.
okay,
I have a prayer meditation that I wrote a book calling How I Learned to Pray to Get What I Need. And at
man.
the end of each of chapter, the Lord told me to create prayers for each. And then when the book was published, he said, now create a meditation from each of the prayers. So I have 13 prayers on this prayer meditation. And it's
Okay.
one of the most popular things we have on YouTube. I guess people
Wow.
like to meditate with prayers. So that's part of my ride. Also, there is an artist called Camilla Green, and she sings the song Jesus Christ is Lord, which I wrote the lyrics, and that, like you, based
Uh-huh.
on a particular part of my relationship with the Lord. And I
Wow, wow,
love it. It's
wow.
just so that's one of the things. All the songs that I have written, believe it or not, has to do with my relationship with God and some experience that I was having. So, like you, my experience with this kind of shape how I write the lyrics,
Yeah,
right? Now I have other people that bring their music to us that they've written. It doesn't have to be necessarily religious, but it has to be positive and
sure.
it has to be uplifting,
Yeah,
because
yeah,
I
yeah,
do
yeah,
believe our community have too many negative music that has just not done good
yeah,
for us.
yeah,
So
yeah,
I'm in
yeah.
the business of transforming that.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Inspire, inspire,
Hmm.
inspire. Yeah.
Yes.
You
And
just said
uplift.
something. You just said something too. The name of the song, Jesus Christ is Lord. You
Yes.
know how I mentioned that there are people that I meet who are incredible, and they might be a songwriter, a singer, a rapper, or whatever, and they're a truist to that thing, but they don't know anything about the business. They're not really trying to market themselves. At any rate, there's a young man, he goes by the JC Pro. He wrote a
Mm.
song called Jesus Christ is Lord, and
Hmm.
he targeted it after, don't laugh, MC Hammer. So
Mm.
it is an MC Hammer back in the, 80s style
Yeah.
song, but the lyric is Jesus
Jesus
Christ is
Christ is
Lord.
Lord. Yes. Yeah.
Before I leave this earth, I am going to make sure that that song gets produced and put out there because it's amazing. Just like we used to all like to jump around in the parachute
Yes.
pants doing his
Yes.
thing,
Oh
you're
my
doing the same thing,
God.
but you're doing it in praise mode, so
Oh, that's awesome. And that's the one thing I love about that particular title, because I know there's many songs that in it says Jesus Christ is Lord, but everyone come within that lyrics, different meaning and word. Well, not a different
yeah.
meaning, but different experience that lead to recognize that Jesus Christ is Lord. It's not just a name,
Yeah,
because
yeah, it's more
how
than a
I
title.
right. So the way I came to that conclusion is because I too was having we were having a moment. I was having a moment with the Lord that
Yeah, yeah,
challenged
yeah.
my faith, you know,
Wow.
and
Wow.
God in His grace allowed me to have my moment. But when
Yeah,
I
yeah, yeah,
came through the experience, I came with a recognition that
yeah,
Jesus Christ is Lord, and I wrote it down,
yeah.
and it's just an amazing song. So
Incredible, incredible.
yes. Oh my goodness. So are you still in church? I know are you part of a
Yes.
community of church?
Yes, yes, very much. I'm just by nature of where, I
You
live.
live?
Yeah, I
Yes.
am blessed to be a member of the Potter's House of Dallas, so,
Oh, you
uh,
really?
yes,
Okay.
yes, I am.
Okay.
Yes, I
Are you
am.
part of the
Yes, I
music
am.
ministry as well? Do you play there?
I do not. I do not, and I like to talk about the guys that play at the Potter's House because they are ridiculous. I mean, they are the
Yeah, maybe you
real
should
deal.
introduce yourself to them because you are
Oh,
ridiculously good too.
so I know them all very well. For a long
Hmm.
time, I was in the sound ministry. Just
Hmm.
volunteering. I
Right,
had
right.
the youth building. I ran the youth building for years and years.
Hmm.
But yeah, we're members over at the Potter's House of Dallas and love every minute of it.
Wow. Hopefully, the old congregation there will know one of your song, and that alone shall give you a hit because that's a
Yeah,
huge ministry.
yeah, I
That's a
have
huge
reached out
ministry.
to the music ministry because I think DaDot
Yeah.
would work really well in a play scenario, or
Mhm.
maybe like a marriage counseling or a marriage renewal kind of setting that they have
Yes.
with their counseling area. So
Hmm.
I've reached out to them to see if that's a possibility.
Wonderful. Well, then, my hope is that this will happen and God will make that door even open wider for you.
Oh, that would be wonderful.
Oh
That
my
would be.
goodness, Mr. Tony Turner, ladies and gentlemen, I could talk to him all afternoon. I mean, it's
Yeah,
so
yeah.
easy to do so. It's awesome. But, as everything has its time, but I'm going to finish with this.
Okay.
How do you define success so far? Because, I
Mm,
know you have not yet reached a pinnacle where you want to, but
yeah,
I've learned this is what I've learned that every part of our way, we should appreciate the little moments that we get, the little moments of
yeah,
success. And
yeah,
so,
yeah, yeah,
how do you find right now on your journey define
yeah.
success for you?
I think I may already be there, maybe not 100% completely, but you know the story of the Shunammite woman, right?
Hmm.
And the prophet that she built the room for. As you read through that account, it talks about her husband, and there is a line that says, "Her husband was known at the city gates." Right?
Mm, mhm,
For me, that's it. If
mm,
I can interact with Drea Randall, if I can interact with Jason JT Thomas, if Fulton Turnage can be somebody that I'm interacting with on a regular basis and they know me, hey, that's Tony, right? It's not even so much about, do I want success? Yeah. Do I want my numbers to blow up? Absolutely, I do. But just being able to interact with, musicians and singers and producers who are operating at that caliber and they know, oh, that's Tony, that's Tony. That's it for me, right? It'll be a nice byproduct, if I make a stack of money from the deal, but it's
yeah,
love of the game for me. So
and it will come. And on that note, I just have to say thank you for joining us. Cloud Record Music Podcast. My hope for you is that somewhere along the line, somebody will see this podcast and it will change everything. The doors will be open wide for you and the work that you're doing. So,
I I
Tony
received that.
Turner,
Thank you very much for having me.
thank you for making the time to join us tonight. Have a good night.
You too now.